Hello, it's Lou Collins. Today I've got a sketch template here for you. This one has come from Simply Cards and Papercraft and it's in issue 233. So what I like to do with this sketch series is to show you a sketch that's been used in a magazine and is available to download on Craft World, and then I do my take on it just to show you that there's lots and lots of different ways you can use sketches. I mean, for example, this sketch is really quite a simple one, but you can still make a beautiful card from it, and it can just be the basis to get you started, and you can really go extravagant with embellishments afterwards if you want to, but you could also use it this way if you wanted, and this could be a banner coming down. You could turn it in any way you want. You could flip it as well. Also, you could make it rectangle and just use those elements as a guide. You know, there's so much you can do with sketches, and I think they're a brilliant way of getting you started when you've lost your mojo. So for this sketch I'm using the square card base, and I'm going to be using my Stitch in Time papers. So these are from the Textures range, and they're all about sort of fabrics, beautiful stitch fabrics, patchwork, which is what I can see here, is that patchwork effect. So I'm looking at 3 different patterned papers that kind of coordinate but are not matchy, and I'm going to be using my scraps from this pad as well. So I've chosen these 2. I'm probably going to go with this one as well, but I think I'm going to need to use a full sheet, cut into a full sheet sadly, but we'll see how far we get. So what I'm going to do is just roughly mark whereabouts I want my guide to my patches to be, and I don't really want them to be perfect either. I don't want them to be, what's the word, even or symmetrical or equal. So we've got here exactly a quarter and a half, but now let's play with this and do this a different way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure each one of my pattern papers. I'm going to mark them with a pencil, leaving a little border around the edge of the card as well. I'm going to trim those, and then I'll distress those too. So with my papers, once I've cut each one down to size, I'm going to take a brown ink, a brown oxide. I'm going to use tea dye, and let's just bring my blending mat in as well. I'm going to just blend around the edge of each one. Now, only really a little bit. This is a nice subtle brown, so it just looks as if the fabric's sort of aged at the edge. But by doing this to all 3 panels, no matter what the colours and the patterns are, it will still kind of bring them all together and make them look similar. So there's the brown, so you can just see how that really does stand out then on top of the white cardstock, and all together as well, they'll stand out well. And then I'm also going to take a pair of scissors. Now, with my pair of scissors, I'm going to open them up, and I'm going to be really careful. Don't allow children to do this. Only do this if you're really confident at handling scissors. You can get distressing tools, and they are much safer to use. I don't have mine to hand at the moment, and I quite like the ease of using the scissors. I'm just going to hold the paper quite taut, quite tight and close to the blades, and just run the blades along. I'm moving the scissors and not the paper here. So just brushing these along like so, all the way around this edge, and then I'm going to repeat that with the other pattern papers as well. So now I've glued down my 3 panels, and I've added a sentiment. The sentiment has come from So Happy For You. This is also from a Stitch in Time sentiment stamp set from the same brand, from Textures again. You've got beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. When life gives you scraps, make quilts, stitch together with love, keep calm and create. There's lots here. So I've used So Happy For You. I've just stamped that in black, and then I've matted that onto a piece of teal cardstock, and the teal matches the teal of the leaves in this pattern paper, so that just brings everything together. So that's a really quick and effective patchwork style card for anybody who loves their sewing, stitching, their haberdashery, that sort of thing, or their soft crafts. You can enhance this more by either going in with machine stitching around the edges before you glue them down. You could go in with faux stitching with something like a pokey tool, paper piercer, and just pierce little dots around the edge, and you can take that one step further by going in with a white or a black gel pen and just joining up the dots as well to look like faux stitching. So there's lots of options for you, or of course if you want to take the time you can use hand stitching on these. So we'd love to see your take on this sketch. It is free to download on Craft World for you, and yeah, show us in the inspiration gallery what you make of it.